Hi all, welcome back to my channel. Police in Arkansas have launched a manhunt after a married couple was found deceased on a hiking trail in Devil's Den State Park. The couple were identified as 43-year-old Clinton Brink and 41-year-old Kristen Brink after their two daughters, who luckily survived, ran for help, saying their parents had been attacked while they were walking together on one of the trails. The children said they believed one of their parents may have been stabbed. According to reports, communication issues prevented the police from being alerted right away, and when they arrived on scene, they found the couple deceased. They have not yet released how they were unalived, but they have released a sketch of the man they believe took their lives. Although they don't have much more about the suspect to share out, they did say he was leaving the park in a vehicle with tape covering the license plate. The Brinks were said to have 3 children, but were walking on a trail with their 2 youngest, only 7 and 9 years old, when they were attacked. Reports say the children are not injured physically, but they had to run for help and find their way back to safety on their own. Thank God they made it.
Right now in Arkansas, a manhunt has intensified for the suspect who allegedly killed a married couple inside of a state park on Saturday. According to investigators, the victims, identified as Clinton and Kristen Brink, were hiking with their young daughters in Devil's Den State Park right there near Little Rock when they were attacked. This is the moment police and state troopers found their bodies.
They're on the lower Devil's Den Trail. I think I see you right there. I've got two bodies down here.
It's unclear whether the girls witnessed the murders. The park has beefed up security in response and closed all the trails to the public today, and the search for the killer continues. NBC News correspondent Kathy Park joins us now. Kathy, it looks here like police released a description of the man they're looking for. What do we know?
Hey there, Morgan. Yeah, so this is still very much a developing story, a lot that we don't know. But according to police, the crime happened just before 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday as the family went hiking, as you said, at Devil's Den State Park. The couple was found dead on a hiking trail, which is described to be a remote rural area. The terrain is quite rugged. There's no cell service in the area. Their 7 and 9-year-old children, according to police, were with the couple at the time. They were not injured, and police say they're actually with other family members now. But at this time, it is unclear if those young girls witnessed the murders. NBC News was able to briefly get a family member on the phone. They said they're just too emotional right now to share any statements, but said Clinton and Kristen Brink were a loving couple, devoted parents, and happened to move to Arkansas just 3 weeks ago, so recently.
Do we know, Kathy, where the girls are right now?
Yeah, according to police, they say that they are with other family members. But let me give you a little bit more description of the suspect, because you mentioned this is still an ongoing manhunt. This is an active investigation. The suspect right now is described as a white male, medium build. He was wearing dark pants, long sleeve shirt, dark ball cap, had fingerless gloves, was also wearing sunglasses. And then he was actually seen driving out of the park. He was in a black sedan, likely or possibly a Mazda. And what's interesting is that the license plate was actually covered by tape, and he was heading toward the nearby highway, either Highway 170 or 220. And law enforcement, of course, are asking members of the public to help. If you were in the area on Saturday, look through your phone, those GoPro videos, see if you have any clues possibly linked to the suspect, Morgan.
It's a heartbreaking story all the way around. Kathy Park joining us with the latest as that story unfolds.
A Fox News alert now. Right now, a manhunt for the suspect accused of brutally murdering a mother and father hiking with their young daughters in an Arkansas state park on Saturday.
Do we need to sweep the coastal trails or just stay on the main trail?
Cover the main trail right now first.
How?
Sweep the main trail first right now.
Main trail? Icebox, hiking down. For help.
Repeat that. Say again. Repeat.
Hear yells calling for help. We're hiking down.
Try to relay to the office that we found the victims down here. They're on the lower Devil's Den Trail. I see you right there. I've got two bodies down here.
The suspect is described as a man in dark clothing and fingerless gloves with a black backpack, who escaped in a black car with a license plate covered by tape. The two young girls are thankfully safe and now with family members. Our Fox News contributor and former D.C. homicide detective Ted Williams is joining us now. Ted, welcome to you. Just the details that are emerging are just absolutely bizarre. The girls thankfully are okay, but what do we know so far? I know it's very little, but what are we learning?
Good morning, Sandra. I got to tell you, this is such a sad story because you have two young girls, aged 7 and 9, that are no longer with their parents, or their parents are no longer here with us. But we do know that on Saturday, they went hiking in Devil's Den Park, and this park is about 20 miles south of Fayetteville, Arkansas. At some stage or another, it was reported that the couple was found dead on one of the hiking trails. The daughters, I understand, 7 and 9, are safe. I think one of the big questions here is, was this a random killing or was this a targeted killing? And I think one of the clues to this thing will be when the vehicle entered the park. We know it was a Mazda. When it entered the park, did it have that electrical tape covering the license plate as it had when it was leaving the park? If that is the case, then it's more likely than not that it's a targeted killing. But at this stage, law enforcement are very close mouth about what is taking place. We may learn more today.
Yeah, Ted, we have a picture of the couple up on the screen there, just 41 and 43 years old, Clinton Brink and his wife, Kristen. Police are describing the area in which this happened, the park, as a remote and rural area where the terrain is rugged, vegetation is thick, and there is no cell phone service. So to your point about whether or not this was a targeted attack, this would be somebody who ventured into an area that was very remote to target this couple and to take on these killings.
Well, you're absolutely right. And that is one reason why, Sandra, law enforcement are going to have to work backwards from these two bodies of these two individuals. And they're going to have to try to find out as much as they can about who knew they were going to that park, perhaps. And I think that's going to be very essential. But at this stage, law enforcement, while they're close-mouthed, they have a great deal of information that they're not sharing with the public that they already know.
Just as far as patrons in the park, again, this was so remote, but Ted, do we know yet if there was anybody else hiking in the area at the time where possibly they can pull their cell phone camera, or there might be any sort of eyewitness account here?
Well, excellent question. From what we've been told so far, law enforcement is asking the individuals who are around that park for any kind of video feeds that they may very well have. They believe that the vehicle is Mazda, maybe, exited the park and may have gone on one of two highways there. So they're trying to get as much video feed as they possibly can that will help them to bring this killer to justice.
The other thing that they're leaning on to potentially limit the number of people that they could possibly be looking for is they're keeping an open mind, they said, to who may have known that this couple, this family, was going for this hike in the Devil's Den State Park. Ted, just an incredibly sad story. Our thoughts with those little girls and the victims, of course, and their families. Anyone with information about this, please do call Arkansas State Police, 479-751-6663. The number's on the screen. Ted, thank you very much for joining us.
As the search for answers continues, 5 News anchor Darren Bobb is taking a look back at how the response to this attack there at Devil's Den unfolded.
The first call came into the Washington County EMS a little before 2:30.
Medic 4, circular first responders, stage for police, assault, possible stabbing, Devil's Den State Park.
It was only a few minutes before a swarm of law enforcement officers made it to Devil's Den. That's when visitors who were at the park became a little concerned.
So we've been here all day. We're from Texas, so we came in for the weekend, and we came up here and there are cop cars all around there, and we were a little concerned, and they said that they couldn't say anything, but that everything was closed for an emergency.
Then the search was on for a suspect.
Suspect is going to be a white male wearing black gloves, sunglasses, a dark colored pants, and a dark colored tank top. He took off in a small black sports car with taped over plates. Direction of travel, went across the bridge leaving Devil's Den and stayed on the highway.
We're all sweeping the trail, me and I've got a maintenance person with me, interpreters with first aid kits trying to locate the family.
Less than an hour into the search,
Hear yells calling for help. We're hiking down.
10-4, we're hearing them too towards the end of the lower part of the Devil's Den Trail.
by the time police got to where they heard those screams, it was too late.
Trying to relay to the office that we found the victims down here. They're on the lower Devil's Den Trail. I've got two bodies.
5 News first responded to a tip about that large police presence and an investigation at Devil's Den around 4:30. When our reporter got there, troopers would not allow him into the park and did not provide information. At 8:40, 6 hours after the first call, state police released a statement about a manhunt for the suspect who may still be in the area. That set off a firestorm of social media posts, especially from those who were in the park at the time, wondering why it took so long to get any official information out. Arkansas State Police responded to those concerns, saying the location is in a remote rural part of Arkansas. It took time for our special agents to arrive on scene, locate witnesses, and collaborate information so we could release the appropriate information. Covering news where you live, I'm Darren Bobb, 5 News.
Well, as this case develops, Arkansas State Police are asking those who visited the parks on Saturday to check your photos, your videos. Maybe you have some of the suspect and you don't know it. Here's the number you can call. Arkansas State Police, 479-751-663. Investigators say that residents with trail or security cameras surrounding that area to notify them as well with any relevant leads.
Minutes to the top of the hour here. We have a major update overnight in the growing manhunt for the person who murdered 2 parents on an Arkansas hiking trail. This morning, police are releasing this. Take a good look at your screen. I know you're busy, but pause for just a moment. This is the first sketch of the suspected double murderer as they plead with the public for any information that could lead them to this man. News Nation's Mills Hayes has details on what we know and what happens next. Mills, good morning.
Good morning, Marky. What a tragic story coming out of Arkansas. Those victims are Clinton and Kristen Brink. Police say that they had just recently moved to the area from out of state. Their 2 little girls, ages 7 and 9, escaped the attack that killed their parents uninjured and have helped alert authorities. Overnight, Arkansas State Police releasing this composite sketch of the man they say is responsible for killing the Brinks. The suspect is described as a white male, medium build, dark clothes, baseball cap, fingerless gloves, and he was seen running toward a black 4-door sedan, possibly a Mazda, with tape over the license plates. Police are asking anyone who visited Devil's Den on Saturday to check their photos and videos, but not to post them publicly. No arrest, no weapon, no publicly known motive at the moment. And the FBI says they are now investigating and assisting Arkansas State Police. Police also said Monday that they believe the suspect, quote, likely sustained an injury in the attack, but did not elaborate any further, Marky.
And Mills, a lot of questions this morning, too, about how long it took to alert people in the area that a killer was on the loose.
Right. Well, 6 hours passed before police released any information to the public, but that's mostly due to the area where this crime happened. Those 2 little girls, again, physically unharmed, had to hike on their own all the way to a visitor center to report the attack after leaving the hiking trail. But that center didn't have a direct line to 911. So it took hours for the call to get through. The crime scene, steep, wooded, and off the grid, also slowed emergency response. Responders radioed this just before finding the bodies.
Washington County received a call from the visitor center. 2 children are there. They advised that their parents were assaulted. One was possibly stabbed.
Trying to relay to the office that we found the victims down here. Just a couple minutes. I think I see you right there. I've got two bodies down here.
News Nation reached out to the Brink family. They are asking for privacy at this time, but in a statement, they did say that Clinton and Kristen died heroes, protecting their little girls, and they deserve justice. Marky.
God bless those little girls, 7 and 9 years old. Just unconscionable without mom and dad now.
I'll be praying for the Brinks children, who now have to navigate life without their parents, who reports say had just moved their family to Arkansas weeks before their lives were brutally taken, in front of their children. Please consider sharing out the photo of the suspect to get all eyes looking out for him. He's obviously pure evil, and right now, he's walking among us. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I appreciate it. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more true crime stories. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on my next video.